Week 13 of the fantasy basketball season. Here's a few guards I looked at off the wire this week. The first guard, Scoot Henderson of the Portland Trailblazers. So Henderson's really coming to his own of late. On the season, I know the numbers aren't on great. A few weeks to the last month is where he's picked it up on the year. 12.6 points a game, 3.1 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 1.1 steals, 1.4 threes, and 42% from the field. But the last couple weeks, 17.1 points a game, 3.3 boards, 5.8 assists, 1.1 steals, 2.4 threes, and 48% from the field. So Henderson's going out there. He's playing obviously major minutes for this Portland Trailblazer team, and he's having some big games, no doubt about it, including January 14th versus Brooklyn, 39 points, 4 boards, 6 assists, 2 steals, 8 threes, 72% from the field. January 16th versus the Clippers, 16 points, 2 boards, 6 assists, a steal, 2 threes, 42% from the field. January 18th versus Houston, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 11 assists, a steal, 3 blocks, 3 threes, 54% from the field. And January 19th versus the Bulls, 25 points, 7 boards, 8 assists, 2 steals, 3 threes, 53% from the field. So he's going out there. He's giving fantasy owners 4 or 5 categories. And with this Trailblazer team going nowhere once again this season, they're going to play all the young guys. Obviously, Scoot Henderson, he was a high draft pick last season for them, and now he's coming into his own. So while he's out there only in 54% of fantasy leagues, and the most likely last chance for owners to go out there and get him, he's a big ad this week because he's going to score the basketball, he's going to rebound, he's going to hit the 3 ball, and a good assister to the basketball as well. So 4 or 5 categories he's going to give fantasy owners, and he's a great ad this week. Next ad's Cole Anthony of the Orlando Magic. So Anthony's been on the list a couple times this season, and he's playing good basketball for this Orlando Magic team, even though they're starting to get healthy and the numbers will take a drop here and there on the year. 8.4 points a game, 2.8 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 0.9 threes, and 40% from the field. But the last 2 weeks, 17.7 points a game, 5.3 rebounds, 4.1 assists, 1.4 steals, 1.7 threes, and 46% from the field. Available in tons of fantasy leagues right now is Cole Anthony in 69%. January 15th at the Bucks, 11 points, 4 boards, 9 assists, 3, 38% from the field. January 17th at the Celtics, 23 points, 7 boards, a steal, 2 threes, 60% from the field. And January 19th versus the Nuggets, 9 points, 6 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, 30% from the field. So he's playing about 30 minutes a game right now is Cole Anthony. He could score the basketball, he could hit the 3 ball. And I know he was a top pick a few years ago and it didn't pan out really, but now he's starting to get things going as well. And I think he's a decent ad this week. The next ad, Spencer Dinwiddie of the Dallas Mavericks. So with Luka Doncic out of the lineup, most likely after the All-Star break, even though reports say he should return before then. We'll see what happens with that, but Dinwiddie's getting playing time, and he's made the most of his opportunity, even though Kyrie Irving's been back in the lineup as well over the last few games. On the year, 10 points a game, 2.4 boards, 3.7 assists, 1.4 threes, and 38% from the field. But the last 2 weeks with the expanded role, 14.6 points a game, 3.7 boards, 5.1 assists, 1.3 steals, 1.7 threes, and 42% from the field. To Dinwiddie, he's out there in tons of fantasy leagues still at 76%. January 14th versus the Nuggets, 8 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, a steal, a 3, 75% from the field. January 15th at the Pelicans, 20 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals, 3 threes, 35% from the field. And January 17th versus the Thunder, 16 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, 4 threes, 38% from the field. So 3-point shooting, scoring the basketball, assists, and steals is what Spencer Dinwiddie is going to bring to fantasy owners. I know his field goal percentage isn't good at all, but everything else, for the most part, as long as he's getting that 25-30 minutes a game until Doncic comes back, he could be a good player for fantasy owners and available, like I said, in tons of leagues right now. It's 76%. The next guard, Grayson Allen of the Phoenix Suns. So Grayson Allen, we know it's about scoring the basketball and hitting 3-pointers with a decent field goal percentage, and that's pretty much what he's going to bring owners on the year. 11.1 points a game, 3.2 boards, 1.8 assists, 2.4 threes, and 45% from the field. But the last couple weeks, he's been shooting the ball very well. 12.8 points a game, 2.9 boards, 1.3 assists, 1.3 steals, 3.1 threes a game, and a whopping 58% from the field. So like I said, shooting the basketball is a specialty for Grayson Allen. He's still getting nice minutes for the Sun team, 27-30 minute range per game. January 14th at the Hawks, 9 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, a steal, 3 threes, 75% from the field. January 16th at the Wizards, 21 points, 5 boards, 3 steals, 5 threes, 66% from the field. And January 18th at the Pistons, 7 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, a 3, 25% from the field in a down game. But like I said, he's shooting the 3 ball well. Field goal percentage way up over the last 2 weeks here for Grayson Allen. And he's very versatile as well. Point guard, shooting guard, and small forward. He qualifies in fantasy basketball, and definitely someone to add, available in 78% of fantasy leagues. Next ad's Isaiah Collier of the Utah Jazz. So Collier out there in 86% of leagues, and he's getting an expanded role of late for this Jazz team, and he's made the most of his opportunity as well. He's the rookie on the year, 4.4 points a game, 2.8 rebounds, 4.6 assists, 35% from the field. But the last couple weeks, playing 35 minutes a game, 9.7 points a game, 4.8 rebounds, a whopping 9 assists, 1 3, and 44% from the field. So he's a good facilitator of the basketball. Here's Collier, where the last 2 out of 3 games he's had double-digit assists. And this Jazz team, another team obviously going nowhere, and seeing what the young guys have as the season rolls on. January 12th versus the Nets, 23 points, 7 boards, 7 assists, a block, 3 threes, 56% from the field. January 15th versus the Hornets, 11 points, 3 boards, 10 assists, a 3, 50% from the field. And January 17th at the Pelicans, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 11 assists, a steal, a block, 30% from the field. So field goal percentage isn't going to be great. He's not a big-time scorer, as Collier, but he gives you a little bit of everything, especially assisting the basketball. So if you're looking pretty much for a pure point guard and need help at the assist category, he's one of the better ads, obviously, this week, Collier. And he's out there, like I said, in 86% of fantasy leagues. And the final guard I looked at off the wire is Luke Kennard of the Memphis Grizzlies. So Kennard, we always knew he was a good 3-point shooter. He could get to the basket and score. Decent rebounder as well, and he could give you a few assists. But his specialty as well, like Grayson Allen, is 3-point scoring and shooting at a decent field goal percentage on the year, 9.1 points a game, 3 rebounds, 3.2 assists, 2.1 threes, and 46% from the field. But the last couple weeks, 11.8 points a game, 3.7 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 2.5 threes, and 54% from the field. So Kennardy's out there in tons of leagues right now in 93%. January 13th at Houston, 4 points, a board, 2 assists, 50% from the field. January 15th at the Spurs, 15 points, 9 boards, 3 assists, 5 threes, 55% from the field. And January 17th at the Spurs, again in a blowout victory, 17 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, 2 threes, 66% from the field. So as long as he's playing that 25-30 minutes per game, is Kennard. He's going to score the basketball, he's going to hit the three ball, and he's going to give you about 3 or 4 assists per game. So I think if you need help in deeper leagues, Kennard's a decent ad, and he's been playing well for this Grizzly team. So that's a few guards I look to add for Week 13 of the fantasy basketball season.